As always, it's nice to see you all. So glad that you are here. If you've been checking out my channel, then hopefully you've been enjoying some of my little role play stuff that I've been posting. I'm going to keep those coming. But for today, we are getting into our live squats. This is the 90-day squat challenge. If you haven't been hanging out with us yet and you're just joining in, there are over 20 videos that you can go and watch and participate in and get those squat gains going. As you can see, I'm still working very hard. Oh, well, you might not actually be able to see because black, and then my pants are like wet with sweat, so maybe you can tell, maybe you can't. But this is what I'm working on right now, and just generally my legs, which have been amazingly toning up quite a bit. So I'm super happy about that, super happy to see that. I think I showed you guys yesterday, but again, this is just after getting off of the bike, so we're getting some work in. I'm most excited about just the fact that my body is kind of feeling like it's more aligned. Like, I started out talking about my posture. I still have some work to do, but it's definitely improving significantly. I'm gonna roll out on the lacrosse ball at some point just to even out my shoulders because they've been sore. But other than that, this squat process has really been just bringing home how important it is to do something for myself every day. And also, it's making me so much more comfortable to come and talk to you all. Also, side note, wearing loose leggings is weird. So but they do their job. It's just weird because at the top it's supposed to be for a pregnant lady, and this never was all floppy like this, even when I was recently postpartum. So that's new. I might have to switch back to my old leggings because in the back, you see that it's no longer holding me. So what you see is what you get. All the lumps and bumps are not being held in. This is just me, which is incredible. All right, so we're gonna get these squats. 100, we're gonna do 60 squats or sumo squats or assisted squats. Remember, assisted, just find a flat plane in front of you and give yourself a little bit of space between your feet, hip width or slightly more if you're trying to go further into those medius muscles. And then using a little bit of that upper body to stabilize your squat. You just squat right into it, sitting back, knees behind toes, and come back up. And that's it. I'm not gonna do assisted down low. If you have a higher surface, that gives you greater resistance, better squats. It's up to you though. All right, and that one counts because we count all of them here, baby. All right, so getting into these squats. How was your day? How are you doing? How are you feeling? I hope you're well. I hope you're happy. I hope you're healthy. I am not rushing per se, but I'm moving with deliberation, with deliberateness. There we go, not deliberating. I am moving with deliberateness, with the decision-making, decisive action that's necessary to go from this to the next thing in my schedule for today. This week has been crazy with the executive orders, and I work in the public service sector, servicing, settling refugees. That work has been called to a screeching halt, and our organization is working very hard to figure out what do we do. So without getting into any detail, that is why I have been hustling and bustling the last few of these squat days. However, I look forward to getting a little bit more time with you all. And I might even come back on live just to chat because it's always nice to come on. And just connect. I realized that I was going so hard today that literally my ears popped just now. So it'll be good to just take a moment at some point in this day and recalibrate, bring myself back to center, give myself an opportunity to breathe, to hydrate, to rest. All of that is key. A lot of folks I know were put out of their roles very abruptly. It's a super destabilizing experience. as a single mom and the sole income earner for my household, that would have rocked my world. Bills being due, things that must be done. I'd be terrified right now. And in a lot of ways, I am terrified right now. I just see what's possible instead of what's definite. But looking ahead as a DEI professional, it's so scary. Not knowing what you're going to do, not knowing where your funds are going to come from, how you're going to support your family. We're real people. That's literally what our job is, to help people understand. And yet we get the most inhuman, thoughtless actions from people who think it's right because they've been hurt or they feel hurt. So they hurt other people. Who does that help again? I'm waiting, because they were afraid that the same thing would happen to them if someone else were in power, but it didn't. But that doesn't stop people from being harmful for perceived harm. We call that narcissism. And here we are, dealing with that, dealing with the impact. But it doesn't have to be like that. We don't have to accept that. It doesn't have to be our reality. It sure as hell isn't mine. So, what is my reality? Well, I control this body. This body is mine. This body is me. And I am hers. And no one can take that from me. Even if I die, it's still mine. What else? Well, this work. Whether I do it for pay at an organization or I do it for myself and the people I love and care about and find another way to monetize. This work is mine. No one can take that from me. This world is too vast and too open and too available for any of us to be stuck. What else is true? This family is mine, and whether we are deported, separated, or other ways split apart spiritually, physically, emotionally, doesn't matter. This family belongs to us and no one else. And no one can take us apart. No one can spread us apart. No one can force us apart. Nothing can take us from each other. When we accept each other as ourselves, there is nothing in this green or blue earth, this turquoise little ball floating through space, that can keep us from one another. That's our decision and no one else's. We are at 121. I hope that these squats felt good. You know, with everything that's happening in the world, sometimes it feels like we are completely hopeless, completely helpless. Like there's nothing that we can do that's going to make a difference. And it's simply not true. I mean, God knows there are some things we can't control that are far outside of our ability to directly influence. But that's not what I'm talking about. When I say that nothing can stop us, that nothing can get in our way, what I mean is our persistence, that belligerent commitment to a vision of a world that is not, that is up here, that is in here. We make it out here, but that's secondary to the manifestation process. Hear me, if you hear nothing else, hear this. What we make of this world happens first in our hearts, happens first in our minds. What we do in the world is a reflection, a representation of what we've committed to do in here and in here. And it's only after those actions that we can turn around and assess, well, what do we want to make next? So if we don't like what we're seeing, that's not a sign to give up. If we don't like what we're seeing, it's not a sign to give in. Just as much as we build our bodies by breaking down, repairing, resting, and rejuvenating, recuperating, and doing it all over again in a cycle, we rebuild this world in much the same way. We get an idea of what we want it to look like. We make a decision about who it is that we want to be in it, and then we get to work. Can you? All right, well, that's my word on this for today. I hope that you all are happy, healthy, and well wherever you are, however you are. Please allow somebody to take care of you. And if it's just you, then I hope that you'll take some time to take care of yourself, prioritize your needs. It's a marathon, not a sprint, and we have got this. Okay, pretty mama? I'll see you real soon in the next one. But for now, I love you. Goodbye.